long-range plan draft. Do you want me to read the introduction part of it, or you?
You don't have to, unless you want to. This is the first introduction of the draft long-range plan. This came about, well, first of all, it came about because it ends this year, the current instructional long-range plan. So now we are going through the process of developing the 2022-2027 long-range plan. The first step, well, first of all, this has been presented at numerous board meetings as we were leading up to this. There was a parent community survey after the school board developed their priorities for the next few years. And so that survey was taken by 179 respondents, and the information was divided up among the committees. We had various administrators in the division chair the committees, and they gathered community members, parents, teachers, just other people in the school division to serve on the committees. Some of the committees were based on standing committees that we already had. So we have a CTE advisory committee. So that committee looked out for the priority that pertained to CTE. We have a standing teacher advisory committee. So that committee, talked about the different things that we could do to recruit staff. So tonight, instead of reading through everything in the long-range plan, because it's rather lengthy, just wanted to kind of go over the process. So you have it tonight. We'll come back in July. That gives the public time to view it, and people may comment on it, because again, this is a draft. There may be some wording, some things that needs to change. And July can be another discussion period to give you time to absorb anything from the public comment. And then we can hopefully vote on the revised long-range plan at the August board meeting. So I think that gives plenty of time. But you can definitely see there were a lot of people that participated on the committees. And again, there were 179 people that participated in the survey. And there was a small handful of people that took me up on the offer to come to the superintendent listening sessions, but not many. But those that came, we had a great conversation. That's that for tonight.
Board, any questions on the long-range plan? And again, we don't take a vote on that. So the next thing that we have is BFC policy adoption. So I guess I can read this information for you guys, and I think I'll just read it really quickly. It's the responsibility of the school board to adopt policies for governing schools according to board policy BFC. Policy adoption. Policy is a basic statement of the intent of the school board, which creates rights and responsibilities for the conduct of the school division's business. I won't go into a whole lot of them, but we are tonight going to discuss, board members, the proposed changes to the board policies. Policy IF, curriculum development and adoption, and policy IIAA, textbook selection, adoption, and purchase. Policy INB, teaching about controversial issues. That policy will be on hold until further guidance from the VDOE. New information is coming out from Richmond all the time for us. And rather than write a policy, we want to see what's going to come from Richmond before and so we can look at that first. And then the next one is policy KB, Public and Parent Information Program. And a little bit of information about the stakeholder survey. Ms. Graham, did you want to present that?
I just provided some data. Either way, if you would like to read that or if you want me to.
It doesn't matter to me.
We had 299 respondents on the survey, which was great for a community survey. People were able to select various groups that they belong to. So we had 162 people that said they were parents respond, 42 teachers, 14 other employees in the school division, 102 community members from Madison County. And just in case we had people that were following Madison County, I gave them an option to consider themselves an honorary community member, but not Madison, so that was 20 people. And then other, not sure what that meant, but we had 10 other. And so, again, it was a good response, and the board has been provided all the information from that survey to review.
Any comments from the board?
I just had one. I just want to explain real quickly about a couple things. The first one, these are the ones that I had initially drafted, and the first one, the curriculum development adoption thing. I sat down with Mrs. Graham and I think took some input from various board members and people. I think it's a lot better than it was. The people made it better. I think what I'd like to do, I'll propose is that we like to vote on that next time. I think one of the things that is evident in this textbook thing is that there needs to be a clear process in place. So the board is not kind of in this little quandary now that we don't have a textbook for next year, an English textbook, but so we're kind of trying to be pushed to vote on it, but there's some concern about it. So I just want to clearly lay out what the process is for that textbook adoption policy. It's been legally gone through the legal counsel review. I think we've taken one of the concerns Mrs. Allen had was that we don't seem like we're stacking the deck, and we took that piece out of it where the board doesn't have a right to go in and add people, things like that. So I think it's better than it was. The highlighted pieces are the current revision you can see, and I would like to try to vote on that next time. And then the second thing Mrs. Allen said, just the reason why the teaching controversial thing, I think, is good to be on hold for a while is that the state senate, the state legislature, and the governor signed a requirement that there be a model policy on some of these things. That model policy is supposed to be in place by the end of July, and the school board has to have a new policy reflecting that model policy by January 2023. And so I think once we have that model policy, it'll help us to inform our policy. And so that's why that's kind of on delay. And I think we're going to vote on the public and parent thing tonight.
Questions, comments? Thank you, Mr. Wingate. The next items on the agenda are for business approval, and we will be voting on the items that are for business approval. And the first one